Welcome back. What we're going to talk about today is something that I really want to share with you. Many of us, when we grow up, we are trained goal setting using a methodology called SMART, S-M-A-R-T. I don't think there's anything too wrong with the methodology, but I think it severely limits us because you see the S-M-A-R-T methodology of goal setting suggests that our goals should be realistic. That's what the R stands for. And attainable. That's what the A in SMART stands for. This is not true. And this limits and holds so many of us back. What I'm going to teach you is what I believe is a far better model of goal setting. The SMART model of goal setting assumes that human beings are merely human beings. It fails to understand that we have intuition that we can channel, that we have a mind that can shift reality. And it fails to understand that we can be unfuckwithable and that we can chase goals that we may have a low probability of attaining, but we chase them anyway because the chase fills us with the right emotions that actually help make life worth living. What I'm about to teach you is about how to be truly bold with your goals. You are going to look back at your 3 most important questions and you're going to look at certain goals over there and enhance them and magnify them, knowing that you are going to learn the tools to get there, the tools of intuition and the tools to bend reality. Are you ready to begin? Before we start, I'm going to bring in my dear friend, Lisa Nichols. She's one of our teachers here at Mind Valley. She teaches our Speak and Inspire program. Lisa is someone who truly doesn't believe in being realistic. Lisa, at one point, was an African-American mother with a newborn baby. Her husband, the father of that baby, had just gone to jail, and Lisa had only a few dollars to her name. But that didn't hold Lisa Nichols back. She refused to let the circumstances of her situation dictate who she was going to be in the future. And this is what Lisa says about being realistic.
Realistic means to stay inside the parameters of what we and who we think you should be based on who you are, who your parents are, where you come from, your origin, your religion. What does that mean to be realistic? When you look at people who've played big in the world, who are change agents, they were never realistic. They never even looked at the rules. They never were interested in the rules. When you think about Dr. Martin Luther King and the fact that a black woman could have the life she has sitting next to an Indian woman and a Latino man and a white woman, we would not be able to coexist the way we coexist today if he were trying to be realistic and play by the rules. And so I look at my life and for so long, I was trying to prove something. I was trying to play by the rules. I was trying to figure out the rules. See, I'm that kid that I struggled. I didn't know until I was in my mid-20s that I am lovingly, functionally dyslexic. I own it today. I had to keep being committed to not sitting down and playing small to someone else's expectations of me. I realize that I'm a lot of things, but I don't want to stay realistic. I want to dream big. I want to be the great artist of my great story. In order to do that, I need to dream big. You need to dream big. We need to dream big. We need to realize that realistic is someone else's reality of me.
I love what Lisa said. Realistic should have no place in your life. As one famous internet blogger wrote, realism is nothing more than a socially acceptable form of pessimism. The people with the most consistent track records of success don't think in terms of what is. They think in terms of what could be. Now, this isn't just philosophy. This is science. Dr. John Elliott wrote this in his book, Overachievement. Overachievement is aimed at people who want to maximize their potential. And to do that, I insist you throw caution at the wind. Ignore the pleas of parents, coaches, spouses, and bosses to be realistic. Realistic people do not accomplish extraordinary things because the odds of success stymie them. The best performers ignore the odds. I will show that instead of limiting themselves to what's probable, the best will pursue the heart-pounding, exciting, really big, difference-making dreams, so long as catching them might be possible. Now, John Elliott was a researcher. He researched people who were doing incredible things in the world, and being realistic was a flaw. Now, who's John Elliott? Well, he's a professor of organizational and performance psychology at Stanford. This is science, folks. We refuse to be realistic. So how do we get there? Well, we're going to set a simple rule. 50% of your goals should have a 50% chance of failure. Let me explain that because it's kind of a mind warp. Now, that's a rule that I apply in my life and also in my company. I want you to imagine for a moment, if there was a company that was failing 40% of the time on their goals, would you invest in that company? Would you believe that that company was led by a capable leader? Well, the company I'm talking about and the company that gave us this rule is Google. Google, according to the book In the Plex by Stephen Levitt, fails 40% of the time. Ever heard of Google Glass or Google Buzz? I bet not, because those ideas failed. But when Google succeeds, it changes the world. YouTube, Gmail. Now, the reason for that is because Google's leader and CEO and founder, Larry Page, has this unique perspective on goal setting. Larry and I, when we were young kids at the University of Michigan, attended a similar training. It was called Leadership. And one of the things that Leadership trained us to do is to always think full. Larry Page took some of these ideas from Leadership and embedded it into the very DNA of Google. And the rule he implemented is the 50-50 rule. I apply that same rule in my life and at every team at Mind Valley, and it works wonders. The rule suggests that 50% of your goals should essentially be a coin flip. In other words, let's say you put down 4 goals for growth. The realistic person would think about who you are today, where you can be 2 to 3 years from now, and write down realistic goals. The unrealistic person, though, applying the 50-50 rule, would look at that and go, bah, no way, that's too small. What I want to suggest you do is bring in the 50-50 rule. Half of those goals should have a 50% chance of failure. So yes, it's okay to have a goal where you look in the mirror and you feel great about yourself. It's okay to have a self-fuel goal that you can activate at ease. But half of your goals should be so tough and bold, you don't know how to get there. Don't just say you want to have a good body. Say you want a six-pack. Don't just say you want to run 5 kilometers. Suggest you want to compete in a Spartan race. When you push yourself like this, knowing that it's permissible for you to fail, you unleash yourself to do things you never thought possible. In fact, Stephen Kotler, one of our Mind Valley authors, who's been studying flow states and motivation, he says that for you to be truly motivated towards hitting a goal, the goal must be more difficult than what you're capable of. We thrive on challenges. Joe Vitale, another famous writer, suggests that a good goal should scare you a little and excite you a lot. Goals should bring out an emotion in you. If you look at your list of goals and you don't feel excited or you don't feel scared, you've done your 3 most important questions wrong. So what I want to urge you to do is to now go back to your 3 MIQ and yes, have easy self-fuel goals. Have goals you know are going to be attainable. But in your list of experiences, your list of growth, and your list of contribution, you're going to ensure that at least 50% of those goals are challenging. You're going to accept a 50% chance of failure in 50% of your goals, which means at the end of the day, if you're achieving 100% of your goals, you've done this wrong. You've played the game wrong. You've been realistic. Rather, you should only be achieving 70 to 80% of your list. So what you're going to do now is to take a good, solid look at your 3 MIQ. And you're going to push things. You're going to stretch things. You're going to play bold. And at the end of this, the ideal scenario you want is 2 things. Number 1, half your goals have a 50% chance of failure. And number 2, you are going to untangle this obsession that you have to hit all of those goals. You only have to hit 70 to 80% of them. But you are going to be living life at a whole different level. I'm going to give you a few minutes now to go through your 3 MIQ and start adjusting your goals. As you do, continuously ask yourself this question. Do these goals scare me a little and excite me a lot? If they do, you're on the right track.
eyes until we can see the world is greater than we ever imagined it could be. Covered in part by shadow and those aspects of ourselves until love lights the way.
Congratulations. You've now started embracing the act of thinking bold. The next question is, how do you get to these difficult goals? Well, as we go further into this program, we're going to start bringing forth abilities within you to move you towards these goals. Intuition and the ability to bend reality. Stay tuned.